So Pew Research is out with some new findings here. About 4 in 10 U.S. adults believe humanity is, quote, living in the end times. Wow. Periods of catastrophe and anxiety, such as the coronavirus pandemic, have historically led some people to anticipate that the destruction of the world as we know it, the end times, is near. This thinking often has a religious component that draws on sacred scripture. In Christianity, for example, these beliefs include expectations that Jesus will return to earth after or amid a time of great turmoil. So here they have a more specific breakdown. Do you believe we are living in end times? 39% of U.S. adults say yes. 47% of Christians, 55% of Protestants, 63% of evangelicals, 31% of mainline Christians, 76% of black Christians. And then look, when you get to, this is interesting. So, other religions, 29% still think we're in end times. Unaffiliated, 23% of the unaffiliated say we're definitely living in end times. 9% of atheists, 14% of agnostics, 30% who are nothing in particular. 45% of Republicans say we are. 33% of Democrats say we are. So, look, there was a time when I would cover this story, and it would be mainly to mock it. But the wording of the poll is not explicitly religious. It's basically just asking, like, do you think we're in the end times? As in, like, hey, do you think society and civilization is sort of collapsing and we're fucked in the long run? And having almost half the country say yes, it's not like they're the only people who are saying yes believe in a religious connotation of end times. There are secular people who are saying yes because they think, like, yeah, everything's fucking crumbling around us. And honestly, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say, right? Like, I think if I answer this question, I might say yes. If they polled me, I might say, yeah, we're kind of living in end times. And again, I don't mean it with a religious connotation. I mean it as in, like, society is crumbling. We're in late stage capitalism. You know, there's extreme need out there. There's societal degradation and rot. You have a massive increase in the number of homeless people in the U.S. You have wages stagnating. You have millions and millions of people without health care, people dying without health care. This is all just in the U.S. You have the war in Russia and Ukraine, which is terrifying because Russia has a giant nuclear arsenal, and where we have a proxy war with them going on over there. You know, you now have renewed fears about what's happening in Taiwan with China, and what happens if China invades Taiwan. Are we also going to be on the brink of World War III over that? You see the dividing lines emerging. Climate change is something that is ever more apparent. Like, every day, it becomes more and more clear that we're in the midst of climate catastrophe. You see stories all the time about terrifying things like a zombie virus from millions of years ago reemerging because the permafrost is melting. You know, drought, famine. So I think people didn't interpret this as a religious question. I think they interpreted it as just like, is society crumbling? And almost half the country is saying yes. That's terrifying. And I think if you ask this question, you know, whatever, in the year 2000, I don't think it would have been anywhere near this high, right? I don't think, I've scrolled through this article before. I didn't see a historical tracker on this question. Sometimes they do that with Pew and Gallup. They'll have, like, they ask this question all the way going back to, like, 1985. I don't see that here. But when you get to, so when you get to this specific question about Jesus returning, 55% say yes, he's going to return. Do you believe Jesus will return to earth? 55% say yes. That's a little surprising. That's still, it's over half of Americans who are like, yeah, he's going to return. I think they get into more specifics, too. They ask, like, do you believe he's going to return in your lifetime? Okay, so here we go. Only 10% believe Jesus is going to return in their lifetimes. So they're hedging it a little bit. They're like, yeah, I don't think he's coming back when I'm here, but he will come back eventually. That strikes me as silly. More than half the country thinks he's going to return. That's like, but to be fair, look, it's over 70%. I think it's like 73% of the country is Christian. So for only 55% to say he's ever going to come back means it's really only 55% who kind of believe one of the core myths of the Bible. So maybe that is like a more positive thing, that people are getting less religious. Because there's a lot of Christians who are like, Jesus ain't fucking coming back. So then, like, are they really Christian? I mean, I guess they are, just not, they're not, definitely not literalists. Definitely, you know, they're very metaphorical. Like cultural Christians, I guess you could say. But anyway, there you have it. Truly is a terrifying poll. They almost have half the country that's like, yeah, we are super fucked. I don't blame them for thinking that, man. I mean, look at everything that's going on around us. You got Trump calling to terminate the Constitution. He's the front runner for the Republicans, or at least tied as the front runner along with DeSantis. You have a guy who's half dead in Joe Biden, who's, president of the country, and he gives us, minor change here and there, but it ain't nowhere near enough to really save the country going forward. It's just, there's not much positive stuff going on other than, rise of unionization, but we need more. We need more. So I don't even blame these people. I think it's totally reasonable. I would have mocked this result in the past, because in the past I would have interpreted this as just a religious thing. Like 4 in 10 believe we're living, in Armageddon, and Jesus is going to return. And no, this is just 4 in 10 that are like, we're kind of fucked. And I look at that and I'm like, kind of, yeah. Yeah, I think you're kind of right. So, not good. All right, guys. I love y'all. I love y'all very much. Everybody do me a big old favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that little bell icon so that you get a notification every time a new video drops. Trying desperately to get to 1 million subs one of these days. Hey, when we get to 1 million subs, we'll do a nice, million sub show. We'll do a big old celebratory 1 million sub show, so help me get to that 1 million sub number. Love you guys deeply. Thank you for listening to me babble on a daily basis. I truly appreciate that. Sometimes I don't know why you guys do it. Sometimes I don't know why I even keep babbling, but nonetheless, I'm here, and we're moving forward, and we're not stopping, y'all. We are not stopping. And a big shout out to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. That keeps this show going, man. I'm seeing all these things now about, all the scam products that, people were hawking on YouTube. There was the established titles thing, which is like, you could be a lady or a lord in Scotland if you send us money and you get this piece of paper or whatever. And obviously the whole thing was a fucking scam. There's another one, this Kamakoto knives thing or something. It's like, high-level Japanese steel in your knives. These are top-quality knives. And that was just a total fucking lie. It's not Japanese steel. They were just lying, right? And YouTubers push this stuff, and now it's all coming out that all these products are bullshit, and these people are losing trust, and I'm sitting over here going, man, I am very happy that I have a principled stance against, these ads, I have no problem with the YouTube ads that are the, are the AdSense ones that YouTube and Google place, because I don't have to talk to anybody, I don't have to do anything, and so I feel like there's a total buffer there, and I can be as critical of anybody and everybody as I want to be. I don't feel compromised by that, so I'm fine with that. But the direct read ads, or directly talking to companies and corporations and, pushing a product, is just slimy. I don't like it, right? And with all these scandals coming out now about all these products that YouTubers and podcasters are pushing that are bullshit, I'm sitting here feeling pretty good, bro. Feeling pretty good about myself, having, only raising small dollar donations from you guys. You guys definitely make it possible. I love you very much. You'll never see me hawking some weird knives or some weird fucking Rent-A-Star type bullshit. If I ever, try to sell any product, which I haven't done, but if I do, I promise you it'll be a product I'm obsessed with and I love, and I just want you guys to experience. So anyway, love you guys very much. Thanks so much for listening. Everybody, you can listen on Spotify now if you want. Any of the podcasting outlets, you could listen over there. We post the full shows there now as well. But you could hang out on old YouTube too. No problem with that. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Much love. Peace. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.